Cleveland Guardians versus New York Mets. The Cleveland Guardians will take on the New York Mets at Citi Field, and this is the first series of the season between these MLB interleague opponents. The Mets lead the series 6-4 over the last 10 matchups, and the over was 5-4-1 in those 10 games, with several contests being decided in the late innings. Cleveland, 57-55 SU, 57-55 RL, and 53-56-3 OU, won 2 of 3 against Minnesota in its previous series. The Guardians are 6-4 in their last 10 games. The over was 6-4, showing improved offensive production and timely pitching that has allowed them to stay competitive in the AL Central race. Cleveland will start right-hander Gavin Williams on Wednesday versus New York. In his last appearance, the 26-year-old held the Twins scoreless with 8 Ks in 6 innings. He is 6-4 with a 3.33 ERA and 1.35 WHIP in 22 starts, 116.1 IP this year, including 1-2 with a 4.03 ERA and 1.52 WHIP in 10 road starts, 51.1 IP. Williams has shown the ability to miss bats with his high-velocity fastball and sharp-breaking ball, but his elevated WHIP on the road indicates control issues and occasional trouble working deep into games. Against a disciplined Mets lineup that can grind out at-bats, his command will be critical to keeping Cleveland in the contest. The Guardians had the second-best record in the American League last season, but fell short in the postseason as New York bounced them 4-1 in the ALCS. They are second in the AL Central this year, but trail division leader Detroit by 8 games and are 3 games out of the wild card picture. Cleveland's season has been marked by streaky play, with their pitching staff keeping them competitive, but their offense struggling to produce consistently, particularly in close games. Injuries to key hitters have further hampered their run production, making the climb back into playoff contention a challenging task as the season heads into its final stretch, where every series will carry added importance. New York, 63-50 SU, 55-58 RL, and 50-58-5 OU, lost 2 of 3 against San Francisco in its previous series. The Mets are 4-6 in their last 10 games. The over was 5-4-1, struggling to find consistency at the plate, while their pitching staff has had mixed results, leading to several close and hard-fought contests. New York will start lefty David Peterson tomorrow against Cleveland. In his last appearance, the 29-year-old allowed 2 runs on 4 hits in 6 innings against the Giants. He is 7-4 with a 2.83 ERA and 1.24 WHIP in 21 starts, 127.0 IP this year, including 5-0 with a 2.00 ERA and 1.11 WHIP in 11 starts, 67.1 IP at Citi Field. Peterson has been particularly effective at home by limiting hard contact and keeping the ball in the park, allowing just 4 homers at Citi Field all season. His ability to command his slider and changeup has made him tough on both right and left-handed hitters, and his consistency in front of the home crowd has been a key factor in the Mets' strong home record. The Mets are in a tight race with Philadelphia in the NL East, with every game carrying added significance down the stretch. New York's bullpen is solid, 10th in ERA, and the pitching staff has overachieved, 3.67 ERA, as the unit has been lights out despite missing Frankie Montas and Sean Manaea for most of the season. Younger arms and midseason call-ups have stepped up admirably, delivering quality innings and stabilizing the rotation. The Metropolitans struggled in June, 12-15, but turned it around in July, 14-10, building momentum for the final stretch and showing improved consistency at the plate. Key veterans are heating up at the right time, and if the offense can provide steady run support, the Mets' pitching depth could be the difference maker in keeping pace with the Phillies in the division race. Both starting pitchers enter tomorrow's matchup with confidence, as Williams has allowed just 6 runs over his last 5 starts, and Peterson has given up 7, 6 earned, in that same span, They are crafty pitchers who do a solid job of limiting base runners, even if occasional control issues lead to free passes. Both are capable of pitching out of jams by mixing speeds and keeping hitters off balance. The bullpens have also been reliable this year, ranking 7th and 11th in ERA, which suggests late-inning offense will be hard to come by. Adding to the case for a lower-scoring game, neither lineup has been especially explosive recently, ranking 14th and 20th in WRC+ over the last 2 weeks. Both offenses have struggled to sustain rallies, and with two starters in form backed by dependable relief corps, scoring opportunities should be limited. All signs point toward a more tactical, pitching-driven contest where runs will be at a premium. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Mets cover run line. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Toronto Blue Jays versus Colorado Rockies. On Wednesday, the Toronto Blue Jays, 66-48 First AL East, play the final game of a 3-game series on the road at Coors Field against the Colorado Rockies, 30-82, 5th NL West. Toronto beat Colorado 15-1 on Monday in the opening game of the series. The Blue Jays have won 2 of the last 3 and lead the American League East by 3 games. Following Monday's loss, Colorado has lost 2 straight and 4 of the last 6. The Rockies trail first place in the National League West by 34.5 games. Toronto will play without 7 pitchers as well as position players Anthony Santander, Andres Gimenez, Adrian Pinto, and Josh Kasevich. Colorado will play without 6 pitchers as well as position players Ryan Ritter and Chris Bryant. The Toronto Blue Jays are in the top 8 in 4 hitting categories. The Blue Jays are first in both on-base percentage at .337 and batting average at .267, while 8th in both runs scored with 546 and slugging percentage at .418. Georgia Springer, IL, has 18 home runs to lead Toronto, while Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Addison Bargar are tied for second with 16 apiece. Bo Bichette is the leader in RBI with 74, and Guerrero Jr. is second with 58. Toronto has 5 active players with 44 or more RBI. Toronto has hit 203 doubles, 8 triples, and 123 home runs for 334 extra base hits in 114 games. On the mound, Toronto is 13th in each of the following: batting average against at .241, WHIP at 1.25, and quality starts with 43, while 22nd in ERA at 4.26. Kevin Gausman, who will start on the mound Wednesday for Toronto, leads the Blue Jays in strikeouts with 127, while Chris Bassett leads in wins with 11. Gausman is 7-8 with a 3.99 ERA and 1.39 WHIP. The Colorado Rockies are 19th in slugging percentage at .395, 24th in batting average at 237, 28th in runs scored with 419, and 30th or last in on-base percentage at .296. Hunter Goodman has been Colorado's most productive hitter, leading the Rockies in home runs, 21, RBI, 62, and hits, 104. Mickey Moniak is second in home runs with 17 and second in RBI with 44. Colorado has hit 184 doubles, 29 triples, and 117 home runs for 330 extra base hits in 112 games. On the mound, Colorado is 29th in quality starts with 29. The Rockies are 30th in each of the following: ERA at 5.84, WHIP at 1.61, and batting average against at 298. Antonio Senzatela leads Colorado in victories with 4. On Wednesday, Colorado will hand the ball to Kyle Freeland. This season, the left-hander is 2-11 with a 5.26 ERA, 1.50 WHIP, and 74 strikeouts. Freeland's 74 strikeouts lead the Rockies, though his high contact rate has often put him in tough situations. The two teams combined to score 16 runs in the opening game of the series, setting the tone for what could be another high-scoring affair. The total has finished over in 4 of Toronto's last 5 games and 5 of Toronto's last 6 games played on the road, highlighting their ability to produce offense in any ballpark. The total has also finished over in 8 of Colorado's last 11 games played at home against Toronto, a trend fueled by the hitter-friendly conditions at Coors Field. As mentioned previously, Colorado is last in 3 key pitching categories, struggling to keep runners off base and limit extra base hits, while Toronto is first in both batting average and on-base percentage, and 8th in runs scored. With both the Blue Jays lineup firing and the Rockies' pitching woes continuing, the ingredients are in place for another game that surpasses the total. Although Toronto's starting pitcher is coming off a below-average outing, the Blue Jays should be far too tough at the plate versus baseball's worst pitching staff. Colorado ranks dead last in run line performance at 46-66, while Toronto sits third at 66-48, consistently covering when favored. The Blue Jays have won 4 of the last 5 head-to-head matchups with Colorado, including Monday's emphatic 14-run rout that showcased their offensive depth and ability to exploit weak pitching. Colorado has dropped 6 of its last 9 games, 5 of its last 6 against an American League opponent, and 8 of the last 9 against a team from the American League East, further illustrating their struggles against unfamiliar lineups. Toronto starter Kevin Gausman will look to rebound after giving up 6 hits and 5 runs in 6 innings in a 9-3 loss to Kansas City last Friday, where a pair of home runs inflated his stat line. Colorado starter Kyle Freeland, meanwhile, has been inconsistent and lasted only 3 innings in his last outing, allowing 2 runs on 3 hits. Toronto ranks in the top 8 in 4 major hitting categories, while Colorado is dead last in 3 key pitching categories, a lopsided matchup that points heavily toward another Blue Jays victory. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Toronto Blue Jays minus 1.5. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Athletics versus Washington Nationals. The 2025 MLB season goes on Wednesday, August 6th. With the Athletics squaring off against the Washington Nationals in the Interleague Showdown at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C., and it's the second of a 3-game series, and Tuesday's opener has been excluded from the analysis. The Athletics enjoyed a day off on Monday. Last week, they went 3-3, playing a couple of 3-game series at home. They took 2 out of 3 from the Seattle Mariners and lost 2 out of 3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. During that 6-game stretch, the Athletics have accounted for 23 runs on a 269/329/462 triple slash. Their bullpen has thrown 26.1 innings while posting a strong 2.73 ERA, 1.10 whip, and a .217 batting average against. Jeffrey Springs is projected to take the mound at Nationals Park on Wednesday. The 32-year-old left-hander is 10-7 with a 4.00 ERA and 1.17 whip in 21 starts and 2 relief appearances. 126 innings pitched this season. Springs went 4-1 in July and will aim for his 3rd straight win when he takes on the Nationals. Over his last 2 starts, Springs has only allowed 3 earned runs on 6 hits and 2 walks across 12 innings of work. The Washington Nationals didn't play on Monday either, and were looking to snap a 5-game skid on Tuesday night. Last week, the Nats went 1-5, losing a couple of 3-game series against the Houston Astros on the road and the Milwaukee Brewers at home. The Nationals have scored 21 runs during that 6-game stretch, while slashing just 216/293/337. Their bullpen has struggled too, tallying an ugly 9.59 ERA, 2.29 WHIP, and a .370 batting average against through 25.1 frames of work. At the time of writing, it was unknown who would get the starting call for the Nationals on Wednesday. The Nats might call up someone from AAA Rochester or opt for a bullpen day. Cade Cavalli is waiting for his chance, and the 26-year-old righty is 3-7 with a 6.23 ERA in AAA. Cavalli is the number 6 prospect in the Nationals rankings and has shown flashes of potential with a high-velocity fastball and sharp-breaking ball, but his command issues and tendency to allow big innings have hurt him at the minor league level. If Washington does turn to Cavalli, it would be a significant test against major league hitters, and the team's struggling bullpen could still play a large role in the outcome. It's fair to say that the total is a tricky wager in this matchup. The Nationals might have to lean heavily on their bullpen to get through this game, and I noted above how ineffective their relief corps has been lately, frequently allowing inherited runners to score and struggling in late-game situations. On top of that, Washington's bats have been inconsistent, managing only sporadic run production over the past week and lacking timely hitting with runners in scoring position. They now face a tall task in trying to solve Jeffrey Springs, who has quietly put together an impressive stretch of outings. I will lean on Springs and the Athletics bullpen to make the difference here, so give me the under on the total. Springs has posted a 3.10 ERA since June 15th, mixing his pitches well to keep hitters off balance, while Oakland's bullpen has been among the most reliable in baseball since the All-Star break, compiling a 3.45 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, and a .209 batting average against. With both sides likely to limit big innings, this has all the makings of a low-scoring affair. Jeffrey Springs has pitched very well of late, and I expect him to extend his good run of form. The Nationals have struggled to hit lefties over the last 10 days, notching a .641 OPS and 82 WRC plus across 112 plate appearances. Springs has been effective at mixing speeds and locating his changeup, which has generated plenty of swings and misses against both sides of the plate. Washington's lineup has lacked power against southpaws, often relying on singles and small ball tactics, which plays into Springs' ability to limit damage. If he maintains his current command and keeps the ball in the yard, the Nationals could be in for another quiet offensive performance. Hereof, I cannot look beyond the Athletics in this game. The Nationals might opt for a bullpen day, and their pen has been awful lately, struggling with command and giving up big innings in recent outings. Even if the Nationals call up Cade Cavalli, I will take the A's. Over the last 10 days, the A's have recorded a 109 WRC plus against righties and a 120 WRC plus against southpaws, showing they can produce runs regardless of the matchup. Oakland's balanced attack has been aided by improved plate discipline and timely extra base hits, giving them a legitimate edge against a Washington pitching staff that has been unable to find consistency. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Athletics ML. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. San Diego Padres versus Arizona Diamondbacks. The San Diego Padres, 62-51, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, 54-59, will wrap up their three-game set in the NL West on Wednesday. The first game was played on Monday with the D-backs winning 6-2. Arizona holds a 3-1 lead in the season series. San Diego will start Nestor Cortes, 9.00 ERA, with Arizona going with Anthony Desclafani, 4.91 ERA. There is a long way to go in the final half of the season, as the San Diego Padres are trying to improve their playoff chances down the stretch. They are currently holding on to the final wildcard spot, only a game behind of the Mets ahead of them in the overall standings. In terms of the division, the Padres still have a strong chance to take the NL West, as they are only 3 games behind the Dodgers. They lost the first game of this series, scoring only 2 runs in the loss in Arizona. Fernando Tatis Jr. took his usual spot as the leadoff hitter on Monday. He went 1 for 4, but was not able to generate any run support. He is in his 6th season in the league, with all 6 seasons being played with the Padres. This season he has 17 home runs and 44 RBIs, while playing right field and batting .264. Manny Machado is their top home run hitter as a 33-year-old third baseman. He has 20 on the season and also leads the team with 72 RBIs while batting third in the lineup. Gavin Sheets is having a strong season. He took the DH spot on Monday and has contributed 15 home runs and 54 RBIs on the season. Nestor Cortes is a 30-year-old left-hander who is making his first start with the Padres after coming over from Milwaukee. He has only pitched in 2 games this season and has not been on the mound since April 3rd. He held the Reds scoreless, but gave up 8 earned runs to the Yankees in his 2 starts of the season. The Arizona Diamondbacks are fighting to stay competitive in the difficult NL West and are doing their part recently as they won their last 3 games. Heading into Tuesday, they won their last 2 in a series against the Athletics, then came away with another win in the first game of this series. Arizona is 8 games out of the final wildcard spot. In Monday's game, Corbin Carroll had 2 hits and 2 RBIs in the 6-2 win. The big news for the Diamondbacks around the trade deadline was that they traded away Eugenio Suarez, as he was putting up monster offensive numbers. They still have 2 other All-Stars in their lineup, as both Carroll and Ketel Marte represented the D-backs in the midseason classic. Carroll batted second in the lineup as the DH on Monday, but typically makes his home in the outfield. Carroll has 22 home runs and 55 RBIs on the season, making him the top power hitter on the team after Suarez's departure. Marte is their second baseman and has been taking the leadoff spot. He has added 21 home runs and 44 RBIs so far this season. Anthony DeSclafani will make his 3rd start of the season, but has made 7 other appearances out of the bullpen. He is a 35-year-old right-hander with a 4.91 ERA and a 24-9 strikeout-to-walk ratio. In his last start, he only lasted 2.1 innings, giving up 4 earned runs in a loss to the Athletics. If you are a fan of elite pitching, this is not the game for you. Nothing against these major league starters, but neither Cortes nor DeSclafani will be strong enough to keep this one under the total. As mentioned earlier, Cortes has not been on the mound in months, and this is his first ever game as a Padre. San Diego will give up runs quick against this strong top of the order that the D-backs have. DeSclafani got run off the mound in 2 innings in his last start and is primarily a reliever who is being forced into this spot. This will be a high-scoring game with plenty of early offense expected from both dugouts. Arizona has the lead in this season series and still have plenty of offense left over after the Suarez trade to grab a win here. San Diego is sending out Nestor Cortes for his first action since April 3rd, and while he's a talented left-hander, the long layoff raises serious questions about his sharpness. He will not be ready to face this lineup on the road and will show rust early in this game, particularly against aggressive hitters who excel at jumping on early count pitches. Carroll and Marte can still carry this lineup for Arizona, and the supporting cast has chipped in timely hits throughout the homestand. They have not given up hopes for one last playoff run, and this is the type of game they must capitalize on to stay in contention. The Diamondbacks may be willing to go to the bullpen early in this game when needed, trusting their relievers to keep the pressure on San Diego's bats, and will be able to find a way to pull out a win at home on Wednesday. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Arizona Diamondbacks money line. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.